on shows, cover of Time magazine and all of that, and he knows that if he's able to get into that space where people are talking about him and all of that, he knows he will get his ratings up as an actor, right? He will be able to get his ratings up and stuff like that. Celebrities, they do this thing. Sometimes and Donald Trump has done it in the past, where they would fake call a journalist. They would be the one talking to the journalist. They would pretend that he's one of their staffers or something, so that they will pass a message to a journalist, so that they will get some publicity. Whether the information is true or not, the journalists go out there to publish it, they get publicity from it. And so when Donald Trump now started to contest as president, he has already learned that he has already learned how to use the media. And that's how he came into the political arena and he used it. He says all manner of things that people who are traditional politicians would consider offensive, but things that are popular in the beer parlor, in the privacy of people. Whites who fear that immigrants are coming to take over the country, whites who fear that the population percentage of the white majority is declining, and that the non-white minorities are increasing. People who fear these things, those fears are kept on the low so that they won't appear racist. Then you now have a Donald Trump coming and saying those things. So it generates a lot of publicity by people condemning, why would you say that? Then he reaches the minds and hearts of people who are scared to talk about those things in public for fear of how they'll be viewed. And so Donald Trump used media. And that is why in 2016, there are other viable candidates in the Republican Party, established Republicans, who would have done better in the traditional politics setting. But they lost to Donald Trump because everyone was talking about was Donald Trump. He occupied the space. Scandals, he was there. So many things, he was there. So you have Donald Trump using that. He helped in 2016. And in the last election, 2024, he also helped him. Because people keep talking about him. Good or bad is in the news. And so you have a Wike who, while he was governor, he used that same strategy. He would make projects, commissioning of projects would be public fanfare, be covered by the news channels. He will hold media chats, call all the journalists from prominent TV stations and newspaper and all that. He will make statements and you get in the news. And when he became supporter of Tinubu and he got to Tinubu's government, you see Wike also taking advantage of that bully pulpit and using it to talk. He's taking oxygen. He's consuming the media space. That all people are talking about is him. And who is he supporting? He's supporting the president, Tinubu. When the opposition appeared to be gaining some momentum with the coalition they formed and with the unveiling of ADC and with the moves they are making, they're supposed to be covering the news cycle, airwaves, Wike will hold his own press conference, will hold his own media chat and say things that will generate a lot of curiosity, a lot of excitement, to be shared all over social media. His videos will go viral. People will share his video to laugh at him, to condemn him, but he's getting publicity. He's taking away the space that would have been occupied by talk of opposition groups. And Tinubu used this to some extent in the 2023 elections. where he'll be giving a speech. Then all of a sudden he mentions Bala Blue, Blue Holaba, talking about transmission lines to Roscom. You understand? And those moments went viral. People will share it all over social media. People will share it laughing at him. They make videos mocking him, but he gets publicity. The publicity may not be positive, but it's nonetheless publicity. And so they take away that, instead of talking about policies, instead of talking about, what are his policies, what is he going to do? Everyone will say, Olaba, blue, a town hall. You understand? The same strategy is what Wike is doing. And some think that he is just goofing and he's just fooling himself. He's just doing this. No. There's a strategy to, if you call it madness, there's a strategy to the madness. There's a strategy to this, where he takes the space. And so people should know that. And in the contest, 2023 contest, 2027 contest, is also going to be about those who takes the space, the media space, those who occupy the media space. So people should know this. If you are a spokesperson or you are representing a group and you go on television, you make sure you have the things you want to talk about and push it. Don't be responding. Don't go there and say, this thing that Wike said, or this thing that this person said, or this person. No! The messaging, the things you want to talk about. Even when they ask you questions about what other people have said, you quickly say little things about it, then pivot it back to your message. And it's important that if you are in opposition, you have to look for ways to also occupy the space, to talk about what you want to do. And you should be granting interviews. You see that 2024 elections in the US, where Kamala Harris was a disciplined, scripted politician who doesn't grant so many interviews. She selects the interviews, she has her point fine-tuned, and things that she talks about, plays the safe. She gets publicity. Yes. But you have a Donald Trump who says all manner of things, gets more publicity than Kamala Harris, who's trying to play safe. And so people see a Donald Trump as somebody who is natural, who is genuine, who is interested in people, and see Kamala Harris as somebody who is scripted and who is artificial or something. And so you have somebody who is not as sound as the kind of point this. Donald Trump won't talk about policies. He won't talk about the details of policies that's going to do. No. When they ask him, he'll just beat around the bush, find things to talk about. But you have Kamala Harris giving her points like this. At the end of the day, you have a Donald Trump winning. So, if those who think that Wike doesn't know what he's doing, should think again. He's occupying the space and is using his bully puppet. He's using his position and the privilege he's had as a minister, as somebody who can easily call the media. And look at the situation in Rivers State with Fubara, when even Fubara even learns from Wike. Wike will hold a band, live band, holds, do this. Fubara was doing that, and he was succeeding until, the presidency seemed to favor Wike, and we'll see how it all went. From Rivers, we see how it played out, where when there is an opinion seeming to favor Fubara, Wike will come out and say his own and try to deflate, And as to the interview that Wike granted, apart from the fact that he mentioned a lot of things, If you watch, I watched the interview that he granted Seun Okebaloye. That interview was effective. People condemn Wike for the manner that, he's being disrespectful and all that. But if you look at the things he was saying, he talked about each of those key members of the opposition coalition and mentioned how they have been jumping from one party to the other. They were in PDP, they now went to APC, they now went back to this. He has a point there. He has been in PDP. From the beginning, he has been in PDP, and even now while working under the APC government, he's still in PDP. But other people have potted. And so it's easy for him to now come and say, see, these people, how genuine is their talk? How genuine is their intentions? If they keep potting from one party to the other in the name of searching for political power. And so we see there is something there. He can easily point, and he mentioned each of those people and how they potted from one party to the other, which is quite an effective message. Because the Nigerian public is large and diverse. Nigerian population is not a monolithic population. We are diverse. Divided along a lot of lines. So people don't reason all the same way. You don't reason all the same way that, there are people who are on social media reason and all that. People reason things differently. And so when you have this messaging and say, how can you trust these people who have left one party to the other and left one party, may have been the same party and followed the same path. So the point here is that Wike is being strategic. He knows what he's doing. Those who think that he doesn't know what he's doing, he's just talking and blabbing, they should think again. And they should do well to strategize on how they can counter that, rather than just condemning, or rather than just trying to look down and talk down on him. He should be more strategic.